Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter weekend. I'm here to do a flip through of this wedding journal that I made by, it's a commission. I was asked to make this, and I'm doing it for two reasons. I want the bride to be able to see it, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So this is a wedding journal that the bride saw some of my work, and she sent me some pictures that appealed to her from some other journals I've made. And I did say, yeah, I'll do this, even though I don't usually do commissions. So here we go. This is the journal. The cover is sort of drenched in lace and flowers and netting, and it is a cover I constructed, and it is covered in, I love to tell this part, this is Rue de France curtains that I have quite a few of these, and I have used just a couple for journal use, the ones that were ripped by my cat's claws when they were hanging from a door in my house. So I did use the ripped cat curtains, but these are lovely, and I don't think Rue de France exists anymore. They don't make these lovely French country cotton lace curtains, and they're beautiful. So the journal is covered in the Rue de France lace, and when you open it up, I've made this journal in my sort of large pocket keepsake style journal. Now, when you first open the journal, I do have in this tuck spot a little pocket in the front, which is made lined in watercolor paper. This little tiny mini journal. Now, the bride did tell me she's going to have quite a few guests, and I have tried to make a journal that doesn't necessarily have pages for signing, guest sign-in, but has lots and lots of tuck spots and pockets that contain journal cards and mini journals that hopefully all the guests will be able to sign. For instance, here is one of the little journal cards. I'm going to call it signature cards, and it is decorated with some pansies from my window box from last year, some lovely lace. The papers I used to create this journal did come from Stamperia, and they're just from the Romantic Collection. I love these papers. The bride asked for things like nature, flowers, fairies, music. I've got some music down here lining this belly band, and here is one of the signature cards. It is a really pretty rose on a trellis. I also have, I'm going to put a little journal card in here, but little tiny journal cards. Here's a decorative slide of a little rose. Here's a tuck spot. I will be adding a few more journaling cards, but I want to ask her first which particular one she wants. Here's a very teeny little pocket, a little tiny signature card someone could sign. Here's one of my double pockets. The other thing the bride asked for is she loves fairies. Of course, I love fairies. And so I found these amazing fairy Polaroids, and they're made by a German woman. She has a lovely Etsy shop. I will link it below. But these fairy cards are just wonderful. And she also asked for mushrooms, and these wonderful mushroom cards that I did print front and back are from Miles Beyond the Moon, and they, I think, are just the sweetest mushrooms ever. And I have the same cards on each side. They echo each other. Here's some journaling cards I created with a very pretty little musical border up at the top. and flowers. And these are quite substantial. They could hold a lovely message from guests or multiple signatures, and I've got them on both sides. This pocket also has a bit of music just sort of peeking up through the top, and one of Sam Poole's lovely hydrangea Polaroids, and my journaling card here. And let me just show you that I've crinkled up some sari silk, and this wonderful pocket is from Sam's Garden Memory Kits. I just love that. It's just like I love hydrangeas, and it's just a piece of hydrangea. And here is a hydrangea from, these are hydrangeas not from my garden, but that I was given in a bouquet on my birthday last year, and I pressed it. Now these journaling cards, she also said she liked poetry, and these are what I call sayings. They're lovely sayings. This one is, each time you happen to me all over again. That's Edith Wharton from one of my top 10 favorite books, The Age of Innocence. It was always you, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Let's see. As long as you're happy, who cares? That's anonymous. And actually, the best gift you could have given her was a lifetime of adventures. That's from Alice in Wonderland. And I just love those quotes, and they make really nice journaling cards. Here is an up-tuck spot with another one of Sam's Garden Memories journaling cards, and an envelope I made from Sam Poole's French Greens. Has a pressed columbine, lovely old faux postmarks, and this envelope contains really pretty rose journaling cards that could be used for signature spaces, and just goes back into that right there and tucks back up with this lovely little lace flip. Now here is, I love this. I came across a stash of, and I have them. This is a copy of a person who collected wedding invitations from the 19th century. These are all late 19th century, 18 whatever. And they're lovely invitations. And what I did was I made this a removable. This the bride could take out of the book, and she could place it to one side and invite people to sign in it. It is a little notebook full of blank papers. I've stamped all the blank papers with stamps that are nature-filled. Here's a mushroom. Here's someone that says memoir, which of course is a lovely sentiment for a wedding. Registrar, a lovely daisy. Here's Sam's Parfum Violet. I love that. A butterfly. She asked for butterflies too. They're coming up. And so this is just a really nice, a lot of people could sign in here with little notes and messages, and it does come out of the journal. You take it, you can untie it and remove it from the journal, and that way you can put it to the side so people do know that they can sign it. This pocket has a larger version of one of the lovely Miles Beyond the Moon mushroom cards. Aren't these lovely? These I just think are the most delicious mushroom cards. And here is a butterfly made from some tracing paper, just a really lovely little sort of semi-transparent butterfly. Now here is one of my favorite images from the New York Public Library. She's, let's see, she's Marie Taglioni. She was a ballerina in the 19th century, but she looks like a fairy sitting. They placed her on this rose bush, and I did cover the back with some lovely tea-stained paper. It's a wonderful, wonderful journal card. And once again, my lovely little mushroom, some music, and a dried flower just sort of put on this lovely embossed pocket of watercolor paper and some more of the music note journaling cards. Excuse me. Now, she particularly asked for the fairies that I generally make. And so I included in the middle of this journal this fairy. This is the pocket that I did a YouTube of making when I first started this journal. And I just thought it was a perfect pocket. It was still a little blank. And didn't she turn out lovely sitting on her mushroom? And I've got her backed with some foxglove, a foxglove journal card. And here's just a lovely plain piece of cardstock to be written on. Here's this lovely wax seal that shows the leaves show through. It has a rose etched into it. And it just really, for me, I just love this pocket. And I think I will put in just a few more journal cards back there, some more of the foxglove journal cards. Here is this lovely piece of very elaborate lace. It's so pretty. It's just such a pretty piece of lace. It has flowers on it. And in this pocket, I included, here's a little snippet of music, a tiny little journaling card right here. And this could be journaled on as well. This is a dried hydrangea. This one does come from my garden. And here's a fairy card that I put with the saying, when I die, mix my ashes with ink and write of how I loved him. And I just think that's very appropriate for a wedding. Now this also comes, this is an uptuck made of linen tablecloth, linen napkin and some lace. And here is a saying, you have bewitched me body and soul, and I love, love, love you, and wish from this day forth never to be parted from you. And here is this lovely, lovely image that comes from Miles Beyond the Moon. And I put with the quote, just in case you ever foolishly forget, I'm never not thinking of you, with a lovely, lovely stamp. And I don't want to say the name of this shop incorrectly, but I will put the shop these stamps came from. Now, these wax seals. I do make my own wax seals, but these, I don't have the shape. These are just such lovely wax seals. Oh, I just loved them. So I did buy myself a stash of these wax seals. But I just adore this picture of him gazing at her. And she's a fairy queen in my estimation. And this lovely journaling card can also be used for signatures and whatnot. Now here is a little teeny weeny sort of half pocket. So you could put larger things in because the side is left open. It does have one of the dried, lovely little yellow dried flowers. And in this pocket, I have Sam's Polaroid from the Garden Memories. This is Miles Beyond the Moon, this darling, these two little fairy cherubs. Here is one of Sam's journaling cards. And look at these. These are Graphics Fairy mushrooms. As I've stated before, the Graphics Fairy, if you need a mushroom, go to the Graphics Fairy. That's where the mushrooms live. And just a lovely journaling card with a stamp down here that says love. I hope I put enough mushrooms in here. I really do. I loved making this. It was really, when I started going, I got into it. I just really loved it. Here's another one of the wax seals that came from the same shop. This came in a group of 3 wax seals. Let me show it to you. Isn't that pretty? It's a pressed hydrangea in amongst, I'm sure that's hot glue painted gold. It looks like it has rhinestones in it. It doesn't, but it glitters like it does. It's attached to this ruffle of sari silk on this gorgeous net lace pocket with this nifty oxidized safety pin. And here is another little booklet that has plenty of room. And actually, it's a booklet made from a bag, a white paper bag. And here's a quote, "You'll always be mine. In the back of my mind, I'll look for you first in my next life." And here's some more of those journaling cards that I've already showed you, another set of those that can be used. And then some plain bits of paper that can be written on. I think I am going to finish these off with either stamps or stickers of flowers. But it's got another little, I don't know if there's not a pocket on the back, but it's covered in rice paper. I covered the paper bag in rice paper, but I did leave the interior pocket to stuff things in. Now here's some butterflies flying away, and another one of the pressed columbines, and I did manage to cut out that lovely saying, "You've bewitched me body and soul," because I love it so much, and I made it into a journaling card and stuck it up there along with another one of Sam's lovely garden memories cards. Here's a duplicate of the roses that I made that you saw earlier, and it is in this lovely tuck spot that is made from, I'm going to put it to the side so I can show you. Here is a die cut. This comes to me from that same shop that made the pretty wax seals, and this lovely pressed rose with a tiny little folded up doily. I just love that dried rose. It's just so perfect, and it goes perfectly on this page with the roses and the ferns, and then it tucks up under this sweet piece of lace, a little fragment. Now here we go. Here's another double pocket made from some gorgeous apricot eyelet with this beautiful netted lace, a coffee filter ruffle, and a sari silk ruffle on top of that. In each pocket there is another fairy, another Polaroid, and yet another fairy, and then this plain piece of paper that is sort of, it's a handmade paper that has remember on it. I am going to, when I send this to the bride, I'm going to include a lot of extra these cards, the mushroom cards, so she's got plenty to use for her guests. Let's see, I've got some different fairies over here. They're just so pretty, aren't they? I mean, to me, that's like really a fairy. I mean, just beautiful fairies, just so gorgeous. And so beautiful with Sam's Polaroid. But these are matching, and they have dried forget-me-nots on them. Just real forget-me-nots, dried, glued in place there. Now this is a pocket that I made. I'll show you that in a second. That has, it's really pretty. This is a fold that I first saw on Kathleen Maurer of Be Again Books. This lovely kind of folded in upon itself. I really do love that so much. Here's a bit of music peeking out. And then here are some journaling cards, little teeny ones, sort of grungy little pieces that look like old paper mushed together. And they're in this sweet little glassine envelope with this confection of coffee filter ruffle netting and a bit of crepe paper. And then it goes into this little side tuck right here. And then I have this glassine envelope with this butterfly lace. And then in the glassine envelope, I included some of my collection of bridal photos that can all be written upon on the back. I showed you these in my video where I was making the pocket. They're really wonderful photos, and they're retro, they're fun, and I just thought I would stick them in there like that, and I do have them paper clipped in so that they won't go anywhere like that. Okay, we're getting toward the end. Here's another one of the packing material signature cards that I made. It is has a sealed pansy, a ruffle of rice paper, a coffee filter ruffle, and a tiny bit of music with a ruffle of sari silk tucked in here like that, and some yellow sweetheart roses pressed. The very back here we have another one, another packing material signature card with a pansy, tucks in there like that, and just a folded piece of avocado paper can be used to write upon, along with one of the little envelopes that I cherish and love so much. And then at the very back here, some more journaling cards. This is Miles Beyond the Moon. I believe this is Miles Beyond the Moon. I can't remember what that's from. And then here's a fairy from Miles Beyond the Moon too. And they're just sort of stuffed in here like this, just for some extra writing. I can include more of these as well to round out the whole. Oops, didn't mean to knock you. Okay, sorry. But that is the wedding journal, folks. I'm gonna let the bride know when I get this video up so she can approve it, yay or nay. But I did enjoy making it. I really did. And I don't usually do commissions just because they make me nervous. But I hope you enjoyed seeing this flip through of this wedding journal. And I sort of wish I'd been making wedding journals when I was married. When I was married, I was making bridal wreaths. So this reminds me a lot of my very own bridal wreath that I attached to my veil. I was making wreaths from baby's breath and silk ribbon roses that were really, really pretty. In fact, I'm going to show you one of them. They're sort of like this. Just a second. Here we go. I'm going to show you one. Here we go. I'm going to get one of these off of here. So here is a bridal wreath that I made. This was actually for our first communion. This was for my niece's first communion. And isn't it pretty? The veil part was made by her grandmother, but I made the wreath. And this is the sort of stuff I made way back when in my long ago days. And I made one very similar to this, or I wore one very similar to this for my wedding. So that's what I was doing, but I wish I was also making journals because I would have loved this for my own wedding. So have a happy Easter, everybody. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and update on giveaway news. Giveaway is going to be a week from Easter Sunday. I'm going to select the winner of the fairy, and secret surprise, I'm going to have one more little gift for a runner-up. So that's kind of fun. Thank you, everyone, and have a really pleasant and lovely and family-filled Easter.